Well, hi, everybody. Steve Tarter, another edition of Tarter Sauce. And with me on the phone, I'd love to have him in the studio, but hey, stay home, everybody. Craig Moore, owner of Younger Than Yesterday. You're talking to us from the record store, right, Craig?
Yeah. I'm in the shop, and I don't want to get too close to you. It might be,
Well, that's advisable anytime.
You've always been infectious, anyway.
I was going to say it's advisable anytime, particularly now. But let's tell a little bit before we get into our musical segment, because Craig and I go back to playing things, kind of name that tune kind of stuff. But before we get that, I want to ask you, how are you doing in these times where you have to close up? Apparently, record stores are not essential businesses. Is that right?
No, we're not essential. Yeah, the pawn shops are essential, and AutoZone, and
but not you guys.
But not us. No.
Now, can somebody get a record? Now, obviously, people are at home. They're probably wanting it to be entertained. They want music. They can't watch TV all the time. Well, how do they go about getting a record from you?
Well, if they go on Facebook, Younger Than Yesterday, we have the store has its own page.
Okay.
And if there's something that they want, we can certainly work it out to where they can, if I've got something that they want, we can certainly work that out.
What do you do? Leave it by the curb at 6:30 in the morning? And...
Yeah, we put it out when the milkman comes by and picks it up.
Well,
as he leaves the 6 quarts of glass quarts of milk on the.
Yeah, the milkman might actually be coming back given these times of ours. I don't know.
Oh my God, I never thought of that, but that's possible.
Yeah, especially with all this. Well, somebody was just telling me this morning the problem with our dairy farmers. The prices dropped and they're dumping milk, and how nice it would be if we could get that milk around. Hopefully, everyone gets some share of it. But anyway, we'll settle that for another day. We're talking about music. What's your your prediction here? You're selling probably online. You always have. Is that going to keep the wolves? Not to use that expression. I just wrote about the wolves on my blog site. But are they going to keep the wolves from your door if you stay on the internet for an extended period of time?
Did you forget that my nickname since the '60s has been Wolfman?
I did.
So the wolf is at the door.
It's always at your door.
Yeah, the doors are at my door, and the wolf is on the other side. I'm working, all day, every day to keep stuff online. I spend so much of my day, Steve, as you could probably know, I spend an awful lot of time just talking to the people that come in the store.
Right.
And swapping stories and talking about music and, 55 years of being in rock and roll bands and all that kind of stuff. So I tend to not really do a lot of, what I should be doing. But at this point, I got plenty of time. So we're working constantly every day to get stuff online and getting mail orders out, and Marina goes to the post office, and so that operation is functioning, but still, with utilities, insurance, rent, and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
That's
well, and
we're not getting very far.
Well, the whole charm of a record store is to go in and browse and, oh, you've got this one, or I haven't heard this one in a long time.
Exactly.
Or younger people, and I have to think of them as your customers as well, that are looking for things that their parents or grandparents had advised them against, or something like that.
Well, that's the biggest thing that I've noticed over the last couple of years is more and more, younger people coming in and actually, really getting into their records and stuff.
Well, that's great.
And, that's what I've been doing is I've been helping, support their interests, and they teach me, too. They come in and ask me about this and that, and I listen to stuff, because there are millions of bands around the world that if somebody doesn't mention them to you, you would never hear about it,
Oh, I'm reminded of that constantly because, one of my pet peeves, and I think we have perhaps talked about it on a previous podcast, is, and again, I guess I know that radio is a business, and I don't know enough about the business side to really comment. So I'm talking about it as a consumer, as a listener.
Yeah.
And it's always the same. Almost station, there are a few different, I think 99.9 tries hard, and there's probably some others that I'm not aware of. I think public radio delves into it a little bit. But overall, you're not getting a taste. You have to go online to get a taste of what's really going on.
It would be impossible, because there's no radio station on Earth, including even Sirius, and I suppose Sirius FX, whatever it is. I suppose there must be a couple of channels on there that, specialize in new music by metal bands or thrash bands or alt-rock bands or whatever. But still, it's what people hear and actually like.
Yeah.
And every one of those bands has put out a record. I mean, a vinyl LP,
Yeah.
Kids will come in, young people, when I say young people, I'm talking about, 15 to 25, that range. They come in and they'll mention this band and I'll listen to something and it's great and I'll check into their inventory to see what I can get. And they've got 10 albums out or 20.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd never heard of it before.
and you run a record store. Yeah,
I'm a record store, and I've been in the music scene for, my whole life.
Yep.
And, there's just mountains of great stuff going on that is so independent and so non-mainstream that, if somebody doesn't tell you about it, you would never know about it.
Oh, right. And that's so true. Well, Craig, we need to entertain the folks a little bit. What we've done, and I'll just set this up briefly, and I apologize in advance for the poor audio. It's certainly not Tim Johnson's fault, who runs a great studio down here. I bring in this antique. Craig, you know about it, this this cassette player or CD player.
You've got that thing down there?
I've got that thing down here.
Oh, my goodness.
And actually, I think I know how to run it. Last time you had to run it for me because every now and then I have a mental sort of lapse and forget how to run my own equipment.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, it's only one speaker's playing, and but the point is we're going to play a little bit back and forth here despite the channels of audio that we face, just to kind of give you I just like that name that tune concept. That's kind of lost now. I don't know. I think public radio has something like it. I've heard on the weekend. But anyway, let me just start it off with you right here. This is an easy one, but I want to start off easy on you because, I know it's early in the morning and all that. So here we go.
Okay.
Craig Moore will try to name that tune.
I can almost.
Can you picture it?
I almost know what it is. I can almost hear it. Sounds like Ray Anthony, but I don't know.
All right. I'll give you a clue. Cartoon show.
It's not Mighty Mouse.
No. It was 60s. I mean, it's been redone, but 60s. And it had kind of a cult status. And the guy had an Indian sidekick, Haji. And there was a little dog, and...
Oh, gosh, yeah. I watched it.
Yeah.
And they were brought to you by some shoe brand of shoe.
Oh, I see. You remember the sponsor, but not the show. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
This says a lot about you, Craig.
Okay,
All right.
well, you stumped me.
All right,
Go ahead. What is it?
Johnny Quest. Johnny Quest.
Johnny Quest?
Yep. That was the... Now, he's had other themes, but this was the original one.
Okay.
All right, so maybe you're thinking of...
My buddy Josh Bradshaw and also Matt Warren, you know, they're in a band called Johnny Quest, so I'm getting big time demerits on that one.
Well, you know, it could be you just didn't hear enough of it. So I'll hold for the next one. You might get the next one, but do you want another one, or do you have something you want to fire back?
You know what? You've upset me so much. You've upset me to the point of where I remember when you ran away and I got on my knees and begged you not to leave because I go for you see what you've done to me now?
You've gone off the rails.
I've gone completely out of my mind. They're coming to take me away, They're coming to They might be.
The present generation is listening to that and thinking, this was a hit? You know, I mean, that has to fall into the category of novelty songs.
There was the world was a whole lot simpler.
Yeah, well, certainly than it is now.
It didn't seem like it, though, did it?
No. Well, you know, they had those kind of songs rise and fall. Nothing quite as bizarre as that one, but there were other songs. Winchester Cathedral. I mean, you know, just that didn't really. You didn't take it for a big hit, but suddenly it was, and then it was gone. All right, I'm going to play you something else here because I think you have to be schooled in. Here we go. Here we are. If I can, you know I have trouble with this equipment. Can you hear it okay?
Yeah.
And I'll give you another clue.
Guitar playing there.
It's another animation show that really wasn't for kids.
Boy, you really dug deep for this stuff.
That was...
People, I can tell you, he's just taken great joy in...
you know, we're just finding...
Slapping me around a little bit.
You know, it's like every fighter goes into the ring. He knows his opponent's... You know, he looks for his opponent's weak spots, so...
Yeah, well, you got it.
We found the animation trail. No, that was Space Ghost. Remember that one?
Space Ghost. I never watched it.
Well, there you go. See?
Yeah.
But
you know what? That was a heck of a guitar part.
Well, I'm sure.
That was guitar doing that.
Well, I'm sure they had a top-line outfit do it. I mean, I don't know who did. That's not on my list here.
Probably West Coast, so it might have been, you know, somebody like, it could have been Glenn Campbell. It could have, who knows who could have been. There could have been the Wrecking Crew doing some of those themes.
All right.
Hey, I'm gonna play something for you.
Okay.
And it's from 1961.
Whoa. Okay.
And I'm gonna abuse your brain because the question will be, who produced it?
Who produced it? Oh my.
Produced it.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And I'll play a couple of bits from two different versions of it, but the first one is the original unedited British original.
All right.
So you may well have never heard the British original. It's quite a bit different. It's got all kinds of really weird stuff going on in it.
Oh.
Okay.
Let's hear this.
Come on. How come you're not playing? These are the level 7
Boomerang won't
that?
come back. No, I don't. I never heard that.
You don't know that one? Oh.
No, I don't know that. But I mean, is the producer known, a well-known figure?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'll just throw out George Martin.
You're right.
Well,
George Martin was the Parlophone staff producer for their comedy records.
oh, I had no idea. Wow.
Yeah, that was his job. He was low man on the totem pole at EMI, and Parlophone was the sort of the budget label.
Really?
It's
Wow.
for the Goons and Peter Sellers and
Wow.
the comedy records and the bargain bin orchestra records went, and that was George Martin's job.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, and so he did. I've got a couple of other things to play for you. This is the U.S. version, and see if now I played the whole chorus and stuff for you. Let's see if you catch what is different about the U.S. version. Let's see if I can get this up here. I'm always paranoid about. Here we go. Now listen closely. Okay, that's.
I don't know that I can discern a difference in that. Was it the woman's voice? No, probably not.
No, the original, the British one, and the original, the first American version says, "Wave the thing till I was black in the face."
Oh.
And in America, then they edited it to, because he's an Aborigine. That's what he's
right
about.
Right.
And then I guess somebody didn't think they should leave that, and they went back in, and you can hear that there's two voices. They didn't even edit it; they just dubbed over that and made it blue in the face.
Oh, very good. All right. Well, I gotta give one. This is going to be just a quick taste. You got to name the band, and here it is.
Okay.
Who is it?
I heard what sounded like some bongos.
I'll give you a little more.
Okay.
Now, talk about George Martin. There you go. He was probably handling that one. All right.
Absolutely.
I'm going to skip ahead because it's amazing how fast we moved on this thing. But I'm going to give you. This is going to be real short, but I think you'll get this one. Hang on a sec, because. All right. Okay. Let's see if we get you here. Was that enough? Because he's going to identify himself in a minute. Here you go.
Bond. James Bond.
I don't recognize that at all.
James Bond theme.
That's the James Bond theme?
By Moby. By Moby. But, I'm not going to play you the regular one. You know that. But here's
James
one.
Bond theme in name only, I think.
Here's one that you'll like.
Okay. That's much more my speed. beat there.
Courageous and bold.
There we go. Well, it identifies itself, but we remember that show. And I think we did, if I remember rightly, the first time we did this, we called it a shootout.
Yeah, we did.
And it was back and forth with...
Is that the Rifleman?
Yeah, and we had the Rifleman theme, and Westerns are great. Well,
Oh, yeah.
you know, Craig, it's we've rocketed through this. We will have to come back and do this maybe when I'm sort of with modern technology. I don't know if that's possible for me. I'm just not there.
Well, that would be interesting if we actually, could do it properly.
Well, hey, in these times we do what we can. And you know what? I'm going to throw out a credit here. We've had your picture up on the screen for those that are watching it on Facebook, and that's Marty Wambacher, who took your shot when he was on you. I think he had you on a blog.
Yeah.
And so we'll give Marty credit for that photo, and take care of that. So let's wrap it up here. People who want a record, go to your Facebook site, because I think
Younger Than Yesterday on Facebook.
Because they always talk about buying local, and I know with this outbreak, folks have been ordering online, and obviously you're restricted in how you can do that. But if you're thinking about some music, a record, something for a gift, that there's a vinyl person in your immediate circle, then they ought to go to your site.
Yeah, I've got a .com, but at the moment it's under construction. There's nothing there, but we've got Younger Than Yesterday on Amazon and Younger Now 2 on eBay. But you can get all that information just off of our Facebook.
All right. Well, Craig, you take care.
And I appreciate the opportunity to tell people about that, Steve.
Well, hey, we're all in this together. So stay inside and, hunker down until we get the all clear warning on the sirens or whatever's going to happen.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there.
Have you heard the Neil Diamond, his rewriting of Sweet Caroline?
Oh, no, I haven't. Has he got one?
Yeah, hands, washing hands, reaching out.
Don't touch me. I almost can anticipate that line.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll listen for that. I wish I'd had that. I'd have played that. Or you could have played it for me. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll do more
Anyway.
later. Craig Moore, thanks so much, and we'll see you next time on Tarter Sauce.
PeoriaLife.com